Online, all we see are the requirements we need to hit as a man. 6 foot, 6 figures, and basically be a superhero. Now I am being dramatic, but for the longest time, I genuinely thought I had no hope because of the standards being broadcasted on social media. Even for the women too, they feel like they need an hourglass figure or have glass skin. To be honest, I feel like they feel the pressure even more than we men do, and it's bad. So let me set the scene. You match with someone on a dating app, or you DM that one person you've had your eye on. You talk, it's great. Suddenly, you're talking all day and every day about everything. Maybe even meet up. You get to talking, you realize that every single aspect of your life lines up with theirs. You want to live in the same place, you want to have the same amount of kids, you want to even call them the same names, same amount of pets, everything seems fine. You're starting to imagine your life with them, thinking that this is the one, you finally found them, it's going to work out. Then, boom, it happens. The replies get slower, the visits get less, there's less words in text, and eventually, ghosted. This happens again and again, until you either quit, or you become the villain that's on the other side. Now I've identified the problem. There's too many options. I genuinely believe that as humans, we weren't meant to know or have access to so many other people. There is even a study shown that when you have too many options, you're less satisfied with your choice. See, the older generation, they only ever knew the people in their towns, in their cities, or when they moved, that's all they knew. They weren't able to connect with someone who lived in a different country or lived on the other side of the country. They never had that. And for them, the woman that they met in the bar, or the next door neighbour, or the person across from town was their person. They were happy. Because now, there's too many high standards. We're being told too many things. We're told that we have to be perfect, and that we have to hit off all these criteria just to make the other person happy. And as I said, too many options creates unhappiness. And this is down to social media as well. Social media perpetrates the reinforcement of beauty standards. See, we care more about what other men or women think about our partner. We care if they think they look good. We care if we think that guy over there thinks our girl looks bad. Why? See, we have a high pressure on certain standards within the relationship, right? You see in social media all these guys buying their girls gifts, going on vacations, having expensive dinners, and you're sat there thinking, damn, I can't give my girl that. Right? You're setting these unrealistic expectations, and the women you meet, and there are genuine women that think that a guy needs to be like that off the jump, that the relationship needs to be like that straight away. It really does make you feel like you're not good enough, that you have no place to belong. And then the games. See, the games are the worst, right? Because you're sat there thinking that you need to reply fast, and if the other person isn't replying fast, they're not interested. When really they're just busy. Or maybe they're not interested, and that doesn't really matter because there's nothing you can do about it. We care more about the notification rather than the in-person interaction. So you could have great chemistry with someone, have great interaction with them in person, and that everything goes well. But because they don't text back fast, because they don't send you memes, because, suddenly you're thinking, they don't like me. I'm not good enough. I don't want this anymore. How they act on your phone is more important than how they act in real life to you. And it's actually messing you up. See, you're actually in a silent competition between other people to prove that your partner is the best. Now, of course, you should think that your partner is the best. But when you're putting them in a competition against other people and you don't even know it, that's when it starts to fuck up your brain. That's when it starts to mess up your perception and your views on relationships. But there is hope. It's not all doom and gloom, because whether you realize it or not, the majority of people are upset. The majority of people are not happy with the beauty standards. They don't want to conform to them. The guy that they have a crush on, or whatever, the guy in person that they have a crush on, maybe doesn't look like that. Sure, he may have some of the attributes, right? He may be tall. He may be physically fit. Maybe he might have all these things. But it's all about the feeling that that person gives you. People are feeling fed up with feeling judged solely on their looks. It creates a constant pressure. Now, looks are important. They are. And I think it's important that we recognize that, because you have to be physically attracted to someone as much as you are in every other aspect. But it comes within reason. There are so many people that look good but have no substance to them at all, because what matters to them is how many likes they get. Do they look good on social media? A lot of the people that look good on social media only post when they look good on social media. There's a lot of catfishing going on in the world. But as I said, there is hope. And if you're a young guy listening to this and you don't have a girlfriend and you don't know how to get a girlfriend, I'm going to break down how you can. See, the first step is to level up. I know I said that people are fed up with feeling judged solely on their looks, but you do need to be physically attractive. Now, I'm not saying you need a 10-pack and a jawline that can cut rocks. That's not what I'm saying. But you need to take care of yourself. It's important, because it not only shows that you care about how you look, but it shows that you can also care for another person if you care about yourself. You need to have hobbies. You need to be interesting, right? You have to have knowledge about some things. There has to be something that you're interested in other than gaming. I don't think gaming is a hobby, but you need to have hobbies. You need to be interested in something. For me, that's cars. I love cars. I know so many facts about cars. There are different cars I can look at and, list off their stock horsepower and all these other facts, and it creates conversation. You can have conversation about your hobbies. When you have your own hobbies, you can appreciate someone else's, and that's the beauty of it. You need to be able to appreciate the other person, because that's where the actual chemistry lies. That's where the importance sits. Because when you actually have hobbies, you create your own opinions. You can have conversations. You can have intellectual conversations, not ones where you think that everybody has to agree with you. People have different hobbies. People have different opinions, and that's okay. You need to respect them. That sounds obvious, but a lot of people don't actually get that, and that's not the norm on social media. People think it's all or nothing. You either agree with me or you don't. And it's wrong. There can't be a middle ground. You need to be caring as a man. You need to have... I genuinely believe that you should have an open heart. People will hurt you, yes, and you will hurt people. But having a tough skin so that hurt and rejection is just water off a duck's back to you is one of the most powerful tools you can have. Because then you can go into anything. You can try anything. Nothing phases you. And it allows you to actually take risks. So here's my advice. In my relationship, I have given up social media. I still use Instagram occasionally, throughout the week, every so often, but I don't have Snapchat. I don't have TikTok. I don't use any of that. Why? Because after I realised that there's too many options, that there's an unrealistic standard being presented, I didn't want that to slowly infect my brain and affect the way I view my relationship with my girlfriend. I didn't. But that's just me. Maybe you can have those and maybe that's not your effect, but being completely honest, it's mine. I focus on my hobbies. I like creating videos, I like cars, and I do those things unapologetically because it's me. I also care for my girlfriend, obviously, but I make time for her when I can see her. I'm not seeing her all the time. I don't want to see her all the time. Honestly, I think you need a healthy distance to focus on what you need to do and grow as your own person. But when I make time for her, I'm present. I listen. We actually do things. And it leaves me feeling happier and with a memory that I actually care about. So you need to focus on the function of the relationship and not the image. Do you make each other laugh? Do you make each other smile? Can you have a deep conversation as well as have a light-hearted one? If one of you is having a bad day, can the other person make you feel better? It's those little things that actually make the relationship, that make it worth it and the time worth it. I'm sure a lot of us that have been in relationships have experienced where you don't feel seen, you don't feel heard. It truly is a competition, and it's rough because all the players are out there. There's more players. The stakes are high. You're comparing yourself to footballers and artists and people who you have no business comparing yourself to. So just focus on yourself. Focus on increasing your life and your level, and it will happen naturally. And if you're worried about where to meet someone, if it's not on social media, if you have hobbies, go to events that contain those hobbies, right? Another one of my hobbies is hiking. You can meet someone hiking. If you like cars or like, anime or I know I said gaming isn't a hobby, but if you're interested in gaming, you can go to conventions, meet people there. Right? Go to the gym, you'll meet someone there. You just have to speak to people. And slowly but surely, as you gain more confidence, as you suddenly befriend that person that maybe you didn't even intend on getting with, as you talk more and more and the vibe matures, it can turn into something good. So with that being said, keep on keeping on, and I'll catch you in the next one. Wait, but before I go, comment down below. What are your opinions on dating? Bye.